Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Got quite a bit to talk about today. See where our conversation goes, but I've been talking about this thing with Deion Sanders. And I'm telling people, and people keep, I guess people want what they want. But at the end of the day, we have to understand something, that just because we want something doesn't mean that the something that we want is going to come true. It doesn't mean that what we want is going to come true. And I've been saying this, and I still believe that what we're watching with the Dallas Cowboys in the media, what we're watching with Michael Irvin, what we're watching with people discussing Mike McCarthy leaving and different things like that. To me, this is everything wrong with the Cowboys. There are two other teams. What's going on, LaQueen? We have other teams out there that don't have a quarterback. Don't have a coach. But you don't hear them talking about who those teams' next coach is. You don't hear anybody talking about those teams' next coach. But what you do hear is them talking about the Cowboys' next coach. And I'm telling you guys, I saw someone comment about this, and this is one of these things that I've been talking about myself because I believe it to be true. You want to know why a lot of teams want to beat the Dallas Cowboys? I've wondered this the whole season. I wonder if by the time the Cowboys reach the playoffs, are the Cowboys too beaten down to even play in the playoffs? Because I don't know no other team like the Cowboys. Everybody gives the Dallas Cowboys their best shot. I don't care if that team has 0 wins. It's not going to be an easy win. The Cowboys are going to get their best shot. What's going on, Keith? What's going on, Nisi? The Cowboys get every team's best shot. Every single team. And I think one of the reasons why this team gets every single team's best shot is because they get tired of people talking about the Cowboys. They get tired of people talking about the Cowboys, y'all. They get tired of talking about the Cowboys when there are other teams out there who are winning. There are other teams out there who need coaches, need quarterbacks, all kinds of things. But what's the talk? What's the lead off every single day? These guys in the NFL, when they can, they watch the sports shows too. Probably shouldn't, but they do. And as soon as they get up, what do they hear? Their team could be 9-0, 9-1, 8-2, 7-3, top of their division. And every lead story is the Dallas Cowboys. So what do you think their thought process is when they get ready to play the Cowboys? Can't wait to stomp them. Can't wait to stomp them. Tired of everybody talking about them. Talk about this. They're going to talk about how bad we stomp them. We're going to be on the news, whatever the case may be. All of these things go in. I'm telling you, there is a reason why teams hate the Cowboys. They give the Cowboys their best shot because I'm telling y'all, they get tired of people talking about the Dallas Cowboys all the time. So by the time you see them, you're fired up. You're fired up. We're going to show everybody they're not America's team. They're fired up. Nisi, the only team we give our best shot are the Giants. And even the Giants. I don't know the Giants. I don't know. You're right, Nisi. We've owned the New York Giants. But this year looked a little bit different. Not worried about the next game. I'm telling y'all, you can book it. The Cowboys are going to win their first game at home against the Giants. The Giants are straight up. People keep talking about Tommy. Okay, I thought his name was Tony. His name is Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito ain't They're choosing Tommy DeVito, y'all, for a reason. Why would they not go to Drew Lock? Why would you not go to Drew Lock? Why are you dropping all the way down to Tommy DeVito, Giants? They want to lose. They want to lose, y'all. They're going to do everything they can do to lose to the Cowboys. And I guarantee you, Daboll has been given the assignment. Brian Daboll has been given the assignment. You better not win that game. I guarantee you they've told him, you better not win this game. The Cowboys are going to beat the Giants. It'll be their first win. It'll be their first home win in the 2024 campaign. I think they're going to probably look even pretty good, and it'll probably give some people some hope. But that's also going to catapult the Dallas Cowboys out of the top 5. I don't think there's no way they're getting in the top 5. I don't. There are people who have pipe dreams about the Cowboys getting in the top 5. They're not getting in. Keith Rivera says when teams play the Cowboys, that's their Super Bowl. Better believe it is. For sure. How many games have the Saints won since they blew us out and had that parade? I think they won maybe one game. I'm telling us, we're going to beat the Giants. But other than the Giants, you better get ready. The Washington Commanders are going to play us like their life depends on it. There are people, again, talking about, oh, I think they're going to look pretty good against the Commanders. Okay. I'm going to let you tell it. What's going on, Mitch? I'm going to let everybody tell it, but I'm telling you, the Washington Commanders, we're going to watch them play the best game of the season. I won't be surprised if the game against the Cowboys will be their best game of the season. The Commanders are going to pull out all the stops on the Cowboys. That's true, but not every team is America's team like the Cowboys. That's it. And I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of teams resent the Dallas Cowboys being called America's team. They do. Because they believe that a team that is not winning like the Cowboys should not be called America's team. So they want to beat them down every time they see them. The Cowboys get everybody's best shot. Nisa, you're right, except for the Giants. They get everybody's best shot. So basically about 15 games a year, the Cowboys, and if we boil it down, I wouldn't say everybody because everybody's not capable of really giving the Cowboys a challenge. But the reality is there's typically about 8 to 9 of those teams that are capable of giving the Cowboys those kinds of shots. And so even leading up into the playoffs, the Cowboys gets everyone's best. But I want to talk about this thing with Deion Sanders a little bit more. There's some news that has come down. There's some news that has come down about this Deion Sanders thing. And I want to go back to something that I said. I mean, everything they're reporting is what I actually told you guys. I think it was either Saturday. I think it might have been Saturday when I was talking about the whole Dallas-Buffalo thing. I said this on Saturday. There was no way Deion was leaving the Colorado Buffaloes. One, I think he's having too much fun. He doesn't need the Cowboys. I know Irvin is pushing, but I don't think it was never, I just don't think it's a possibility. Deion might be too big for Jerry, and the situation has to be perfect. People do not understand. Jerry Jones would sabotage not just 2025. Jerry Jones brings in Deion Sanders. Jerry Jones sabotages Deion Sanders. He would sabotage Shedeur Sanders. He would sabotage the entire franchise. Why? One, this is why I say the situation has to be perfect. One, and really should be numero uno, and should have told us everything we need to know. The Cowboys, y'all do not understand. The Cowboys cannot get from under the contract of one Rain Dakota Prescott. It is an absolute boulder. They cannot get from under it. If they cut Dak, they set this contract up that if the Cowboys said next year before the season, we don't want Dak Prescott, he's going to hit them for almost $200 million anyway. Straight up. Straight up. He going to hit him straight up for $200 million almost. Almost $200 million. So you're already going to be cap strapped. You'll be cap strapped for 3 years without Dak. Without him. Number two. Let's go to number two. This would be even more detrimental. So we think that the New York Giants, we think that the Tennessee Titans, people are already talking about Deion pushing for Shador to go to where he wants to. Go where he wants him to go. So let's say he pulls that off. Do we not realize how many draft picks the Cowboys are going to have to give up to get Shador Sanders? Because I made this point yesterday. Trey Lance was 3 1s and a 3. Shador Sanders is better than Trey Lance. He's ranked way better than Trey Lance was coming out of college. Shador actually has skins on the wall, and it's still being played out. Shador might go to these college football playoffs and tear them up. Shador Sanders is better than Trey Lance. Trey Lance was potential. We know what Shador is. We watched him. We know what he is. He's had great coaching his entire life. We know what he is. So we don't think that Shador Sanders, that if Trey Lance was 3 1s and a 3, you think Shador Sanders is going to be less than 3 1s and a 3? The precedent was set with Trey Lance. I'm not giving up anything less. I promise you, if I'm not getting 4 1s, I'm getting 3 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. You're giving up the whole, you're giving up the whole draft for Shador Sanders. So you get Shador Sanders. How do you put players around him? You're cash strapped. You can't do it in the draft. You're giving away your draft picks. You can't do it in the draft. You can't do it through trading because you don't have the cash. You can't do it in free agency. You don't have the cash. So when and where would you be able to put players around Shador Sanders and Deion Sanders? When would you be able to do it? Not to mention, minimum $24 million buyout of Deion Sanders' contract, $14 million to Colorado. Then you got to give him his contract. You're not paying Deion Sanders bottom of the totem pole pay. You're not paying Deion Sanders that. You're not even paying him mid. You're going to have to pay him at the top of the food chain. I'm not leaving $14 million to come to $5 million. If I left 14, you're going to give me 14. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Jerry's wrecking the franchise to get Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders. And the thing that is so funny to me, we actually don't think that even these guys are weighing all this out. We think, so if I'm telling you this, what do you think Deion's advisory board is telling him? The guys who help him make the money decisions. You don't think they're sitting there telling him this stuff? Deion, let me tell you the scenario. Only way you get to Dallas. Only way you, Shador, get to Dallas. This is the only way you do it. You don't think they've told Deion that? This is me doing my own investigative reporting. And I'm not a genius. What do you think those guys are doing? And the Dallas Cowboys, whether anyone accepts it or not, they had already considered getting Shador Sanders. It was already in a consideration, and they decided not to do it. They decided to roll with Dak Prescott. That's why they signed the contract. You consider all these things, people, when you're talking about this. But I'm going to show you, not only based on my research, Deion Sanders is finally going to set the record straight. Nisi says, tell them to do their research on how Dallas got the name. Fans or the organization didn't come up with the nickname. Yes. And I've already got a video about this on my channel that I did to Cam Newton about why the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. I'm going to actually redo that video, or I'm going to do another video, and it's not going to have anything to do with Cam Newton. I'm going to explain this coming week, one, why the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. And it actually didn't have anything to do with the winning, even though I guess it kind of did, but it didn't. The NFL Films guy didn't come up with the name America's team because they were winning. He came up with the name because when he was putting together the film, he was noticing that everywhere Dallas went, people were wearing Dallas Cowboy jerseys. Just like Niecy is a Jersey girl. She's from New Jersey, but she's a Dallas Cowboy fan. And Dallas Cowboys got fans everywhere, and they always have. Tons. There's a reason why they do their practices out there in Oxnard. They have a huge following out there. Huge following out there. I remember Skip Bayless telling the story that in the early years of football, the only team they could get out there on the West Coast was the Dallas Cowboys. And that's why they got so popular, even out there. And so they're America's team, not because of the winning per se, but because they're just a very popular team everywhere they go. People love them and love to hate them. Keith Rivera said Deion's not coming to Dallas after he just signed his 5-star quarterback. Now, Keith, anybody who's been following this channel, that was the very point I brought up 4 days ago. I brought that very point up. Shedeur Sanders recruited one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. And I'm about to show us this. Greg said there's no way an 82-year-old man is going to change. And I don't know. He got an advisory board around him too. Deion in Colorado just landed a 5-star quarterback. Lewis, I talked about this 4 days ago. This isn't new news. Everyone's acting like it's new news. Anybody who was here, I reported this. I reported this. It's easy research. They're just now coming to the reality that I had already reported. And even before then, I knew Deion wasn't coming. I knew Deion wasn't coming. Because Deion doesn't need the Cowboys, y'all, and I'm telling you, he doesn't need the Cowboys. They treat college coaches like royalty. Deion Sanders is writing a ticket, y'all. Deion's name eventually will come up. It eventually will come up in one of these SEC teams. I mean, one of the big dog teams, the USCs. It's going to come up. It's already came up. And it's only a matter of time before Deion makes that next step from Colorado, and he's going to get on one of those big programs. Unless, and I've already said it, I would not be surprised. You're going to hear about Colorado giving Deion Sanders some humongous deal even before the season is up. Niecy, one thing we know about Jerry in these days and times, very rarely does anything with first-round draft picks. Now, if you want a fourth round, Niecy said, keep giving away fourth rounds and don't play the player he gets. Hey, you talk about fourth rounds. Now, Jerry despises those. But first rounders, those are highly coveted. Highly coveted. You build your team on first-round draft picks. Jerry's not giving that away. Jerry's not giving it away. I want to show you some things, and then I'm going to let you hear something that Jerry Jones says. I've been telling us, if we listen to what Jerry Jones says, Jerry Jones will actually tell you everything you need to know. I mean, he's not hiding anything in actuality. We just act like Jerry Jones is hiding things. Jerry has been telling us everything he's doing the entire season. Jerry's been telling us, we just didn't like it. We just don't like it. I'm going to show you something that Deion posted 10 hours ago. And I think it is powerful. Deion said, noise is labeled unwanted sound. You've got to learn how to ignore the noise that's assigned to distract you and draw you away from your purpose. This is why I like Deion Sanders. Stuff like this. Deion sees what he is doing at Colorado as a part of his purpose. Helping young men, young women, changing that whole area with his faith, football, his family. Oh, and let's not get the fourth one. His flamboyancy. It's one of the reasons why I've always liked Deion. I'm not like him, but I don't know. Maybe if I was like one of the best football players to ever put on a pair of cleats, maybe I would be somewhat like that. He says your attention is valuable and distractions limit your progress. You must stay focused on your assignment. You got this, baby. What's he talking about? Everything that Michael Irvin has been doing is noise. Everything the media has been talking about is noise. All this Dallas Cowboy talk in the eyes of Coach Prime, it's noise. Do y'all know Deion is saying something? The NFL doesn't fit into his purpose. It doesn't fit into his purpose. Deion likes what he's doing. He absolutely loves what he's doing. And I'm not saying that if some team came along and they brought the right package, that's why I said in order for Deion to go to the Cowboys, it's got to be the perfect package. Okay, buy out my Colorado deal. Check. Match my Colorado deal in the pros. $14 million this year. Check. Get Shedeur Sanders. Check. Without giving up draft capital some kind of way. Check. Shedeur be the starter without eating up Dak Prescott's contract. Check. I'm going to tell y'all, I believe that Deion Sanders is also this kind of man. I don't think Deion Sanders would want to bring Shedeur Sanders in and push Dak Prescott out. I don't think Deion Sanders is that type of person. I don't. And I also think that Deion Sanders is viewing this whole thing with the Dallas Cowboys as the same thing I said before. Why would he want to come to the Cowboys? Why would he want to? I mean, you're literally on top of the college football world. Deion Sanders is similar to the Dallas Cowboys. No one's talking about the number one team in the nation. No one's talking about the top 10 teams in the nation. They're talking about what Deion Sanders has done and how he turned around the Colorado Buffaloes, and they haven't even gotten into the college football playoffs yet. But I'll tell you this, if the NCAA is smart, they better get in there. You better find a way to get them in there. You better find a way if you want those ratings. Because I'm telling you this, the Colorado Buffaloes in that playoff, it's going to be must-watch TV. It's going to be must-watch TV. Deion does not need the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. He doesn't. Michelle said, what's going on, Michelle? So sick of the national media throwing crap on the wall for views. So Dak hurt and Cowboys playing bad. Now they're coming up with this. I mean, they got to keep the Cowboys. They got to keep the Cowboys talk. They have to keep the Cowboys talk. They have to keep it going. Greg says it's all about Jerry. Deion is too high profile for Deion. For Jerry. But you know what? Some people say that he is. I don't think it's necessarily that he's too high profile. Jerry and Deion have a great relationship. I mean, they would basically explode the media world. It would be the only thing anyone would talk about. The NFL would be overshadowed by Jerry and Deion. They're both going to do their thing. They're both going to do their thing. And I disagree with folks. I think that Jerry and Deion, in some form of way, some way, they could probably coexist. But I don't think it's the fact that he's too high profile. I think, as I've been saying, the price is too high. Price is too high. It's not just the money. It's not just the draft picks. It's the fact that Deion is going to want some kind of say-so and control. It's the facts that you're going to have to make some promises, that you're going to do some things in free agency. You're going to do some things in the draft. In free agency. You're going to do some things trading. You're going to allow Deion to hire the coaching staff he wants. I think the price is too high for Jerry. I think the price may be too high. And I think we're dealing with some of those things. But I think the Shedeur Sanders thing was a pipe dream from the beginning. Lewis Bailey said Shedeur holds on to the ball too long, needs to fix that in order to succeed in the NFL. Yes, he does. And Jerry Jones is about to say something. I'm going to let you hear something that Jerry Jones says. Jerry Jones says something in his interview with 105.3 The Fan that makes so much sense. I can't believe I'm actually agreeing with Jerry Jones, but I'm about to agree with Jerry Jones on something he's about to say. Nisi said, I need to know the ages of this advisory board. The Deion thing is about attention to Jerry and the Cowboys. You better believe it, Brandon. What's going on? Just made it official today that he's coming to Colorado. What's going on, Jose? Doing good, man. It's a defection from Jerry's debacle of this team he put together. We like our guys. Man, Jerry Jones said we are taking for the rest of the 2020s. Fat Even, what's going on? I'm happy he's staying. Go Buffs. I'm happy, too, because of what he's doing for the young men. But I reported this 4 days ago. Anybody who's been here, this isn't news. This right here isn't news. It says, ahead of Juju's decision, the narrative that Deion will be gone after this year is ridiculous. He's in good position for NIL and recruiting. And the Buffs are one of the best teams in a P4 conference. No doubt, in my mind, Julian Lewis is headed to Colorado and Deion is staying. This right here is what make me think that Deion is for sure, which lets me know Deion is staying. You don't get this kid to commit and go to the pros. You're affecting this kid's life. Yeah, he could jump back in the trade portal, but no. You don't get this kid to jump back into the trade portal. You make this decision. You told his family that he's coming, and so you're staying. You're not going to let this kid come, and then you're going to jump to something else. No. This kid commit, you're committed. And so I was wondering, and I think this has a big thing to do with Deion staying. Deion has played with Shedeur basically all of his coaching career. And so now he has a kid that can possibly and even surpass Shedeur Sanders that is going to listen to everything Deion is saying, and he's going to be like a son to Deion too. And Deion's going to change his life, and he's going to be good, probably going to be great. They're going to put the talent around him. The Buffaloes are only going to get better. They're only going to get better because people want to play for Deion Sanders. They do. I told y'all a few days ago. I'm sorry. My son, if Deion called up Deion wouldn't even have to come to my living room. If Deion wanted my son to play football for him, it'd be automatic. It would be automatic. My sons know how I view Deion Sanders. It's influenced how they think about Deion Sanders, what they've seen on film. They would even say, yeah, we're going to play for Deion Sanders. Deion is doing a great work. He's doing a great work. You step into the NFL, it's a different arena. You're not necessarily changing men's lives because now you're dealing with some older men and they don't want you telling them anything. They don't want you telling them anything because they're going to do what they want to do. And the one thing that Deion can control in college, y'all, think about this. When you're in the pros as a coach, I want you to think about this. Mike McCarthy is coaching a quarterback that makes, well, he's not now with Cooper Rush, but You're the coach, and you're coaching a quarterback that makes more money than you. There are about anywhere from 5 to 10 players. You're the coach. They're making more money than you. That matters to some men. You know, there's already rumors out there, people talking about the Cowboys, the players are just cashing checks. Man, that's something you'll never want said about you. I truly believe that if you're good at what you do, you never have to worry about the money. The money's going to come. You don't have to play for money when you're good. The money's going to come. It's automatic because people are going to want to pay you what other people won't pay you to play for them. So you're not going to have to worry about it. Your talent is going to get you the money. Folks don't understand how contract negotiations go. Folks aren't sitting around in contract negotiations talking about, you better sign me to this money because I'm this, and this. No. Actually, we got tape. We got the film. We also got our ears to the streets, and we're understanding that if we let you go, who may get you? No, we're listening. I don't understand people who don't understand that these people are doing all of the research when they're making these decisions. You don't make these decisions haphazardly. You weigh out all the options. Keith said we are a marketing firm we are a marketing firm pretending to be a football team. Yep. And Jerry Jones is the ring general of this circus. Yep. It is what it is. It is what it is. And so at the end of the day, I don't know any other way to slice it. But I'm gonna let you hear what Jerry Jones has to say. Because I think Jerry Jones is about to make sense. And if you listen to Jerry Jones,
piece on 105.
He will tell you everything you need to know about what he's doing, even if you don't like it. Let's check out Jerry Jones on The Fan.
5-3 The Fan. We saw you on the Netflix right before the fight, and I know that Michael Irvin was sitting right next to you, and he's had some things to say about Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, and I was wondering if you would like to address that.
Well, I would say how much I'm in the camp for the success of Deion and what he is, how he has become the coach that he is today. It's not surprising. He's as great an athlete and a real great one. He's just as much a person and just as much got the kind of energy. And he just would jump out at you as someone that young men would be inspired by and be led by. And, of course, he's got an outstanding boy there and is going to go extremely high in the draft. There's no question about that. But I think we're way ahead of ourselves relative to when and if he decides to go into coaching in the NFL. And one of his greatest skills that he really brings to college is that he is almost has no peer as far as being a recruiter. And, I mean, kids want to come play for him, and and he has a way of selling that. And that is one skill, that recruiting skill, that is not a huge prerequisite for NFL coaches. And so one of his greatest values is in that area of putting the team together and in the sense of getting great talent to come and play for him there at Colorado. So all of that would go into your mind, but make no mistake about it, he's one of the top people, young and old, that I've been around in the NFL.
Now, when Cowboys
I can't argue. I'm about to break down what Jerry Jones said. Jerry Jones just told so much truth. And it's mind-blowing that Jerry Jones, even after Stephen A. Smith needs to stop. Stephen A. Smith talking about Jerry Jones like Joe Biden. Stop it. Jerry Jones knows exactly what he's doing. Jerry Jones knows exactly what he's doing. And I'm not even talking about anything political about Joe Biden, but I'm saying for sure, Jerry Jones knows what he's doing. It might not be going the way he planned it with all the injuries and stuff, but Jerry knows what he's doing. And he's been knowing what he's doing the whole season. He knew when he put these guys on one-year contracts. I mean, when he let them be on these lame duck contracts, he knew all this stuff. Jerry knew this season was not going to be great. Jerry knew. Problem is he didn't anticipate all of the injuries. But I'm about to break down some things that Jerry just told us. If we just listen to what he's saying. So the first point he made, he says, Deion is good with those young men. You know why he's good with them? Because they look up to Deion Sanders. He's iconic in their eyes. He's an older father figure, iconic in their eyes. And so Jerry says, young men, he emphasized again, young men want to play. Notice, listen to Jerry, y'all. Young men want to play for him. Young men. I'm not sure that Trayvon Diggs could handle Deion Sanders getting in their face saying, you missed that assignment. You got burned. Why did you do that? I just don't know if they can handle that. It's a different level of respect. And Jerry Jones is pointing to something that would be and possibly would be a problem in the NFL. Notice, do y'all know Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders are friends? I said this yesterday. They're friends. Do y'all really think Jerry Jones needs Michael Irvin? Do y'all think he needs Michael Irvin negotiating a deal between him and Deion Sanders when I promise you Jerry Jones probably has Deion Sanders on speed dial anytime he want to talk to Deion Sanders? And watch this. What's the rules? He can talk to Deion off the record anytime he wants to. Anytime he wants to, he can just call Deion Sanders up and say, hey, man, what's going on? Hey, I just kind of want to see where your mind is about coming to the NFL. Jerry Jones said something. We are getting way ahead of ourselves about Deion Sanders coaching in the NFL. You think he got that just from interviews? You think Jerry Jones got that information from just watching the news cycles? I bet you Jerry Jones got that news straight from Deion Sanders' mouth. Deion has probably told him he likes what he's doing with the kids. He likes college football, has no desire. I've heard Deion say this in interviews. He does not want to go to the pros. He doesn't want to deal with those egos. He can deal with those young men's egos because at the end of the day, he can just say, I'm going to pull your NIL deal. You can't tell Dak Prescott, I'm going to pull your $60 million a year deal. You can't do it. Nietzsche says not only young men want to play for him, but their parents want them to play for Deion. They're going to help him manage their children. Not grown men. You can't do grown men like that. Because grown men, especially when they get money, they have egos too. Jerry is pointing out every single thing. But this is the statement that stood out the most to me. Jerry Jones said, Deion Sanders has no peer when it comes to college recruiting. Do y'all know Nick Saban? Nick Saban absolutely hated when Deion Sanders came to college football. He hated when the NIL deals came, and even more so, Deion Sanders. Because Saban realized immediately, I can't compete with Deion Sanders. Do y'all know Nick Saban knew, one, the NIL deals were going to level the playing field? Because some of these kids may make more money in those NIL deals than they're ever going to make in the pros. So the NIL deals, they kind of leveled the playing field against one Nick Saban, because Nick Saban used to be able to kick somebody's front door in and say, hey, fix me a plate of food, fix me a drink. You want to live a life, a lavish lifestyle. You want to live in the house you dreamed of, drive the cars you want to drive. Your son come play for me on Saturdays. I promise you he'll be playing on Sundays with a multi-million-dollar deal. Where's my plate? Where's my drink? I'm Nick Bleeping Saban. Do you see how many national titles I've won? Do you notice that I'm always in the top 4? I'm in the final 4 of the college football playoffs. Oh, yeah, that's me. I'm Nick Saban. I'll take your child to the pros. Sit right in the living room and put his feet up on the furniture. Hey, give me the remote. What we watching today? I'm going to decide. He could do that until, guess what? Until primetime stepped in this thing. Primetime changed college football, y'all. He changed it. He changed it. He changed college football. Why? Because he's primetime. The man is bigger than life. My favorite football player of all time. The man is bigger than life, man. The man is bigger than life. I'm telling you, Deion, that type of dude back in the day, Deion walk in the room, man, you better cuff your girl and run. This man's aura, these young kids now be talking about aura. I'm sorry, Deion has an aura. And Nick Saban knew it. Nick Saban knew he was not going to be able to compete. And I'm telling y'all, when Deion hits that SEC, when Deion hits one of those big-time teams, mess around, let him get into a Florida or USC, one of those big-time programs, Deion is going to totally take over college football, and there'll be nothing nobody can do about it. But Jerry is hitting on something. He can do that because he has no peers. Who can recruit better than Deion Sanders in college football? Deion Sanders right now, y'all, has the opportunity to be the king of college football. He will break the mold of Nick Saban. He's Deion Sanders. Everywhere he goes, he wins. Everywhere he goes, he wins, y'all. He has kicked the door down to college football, and all of them running scared because they know the time is coming. Colorado might as well get ready. The time is coming that somebody is going to give Deion Sanders the bag, and that kickstand he said that he's on, I'm sorry, y'all, you better understand what a kickstand mean. When I say the kickstand is down on my bicycle out in front of your crib, when I'm ready to leave your crib, I go out there and I kick that kickstand up and I drive off. I ride off into the sunset. Somebody gonna come give this man the bag. Donald Moore, there's a reason why he wouldn't be a good fit. Because in order for Deion to be a good fit, you gotta blow it up. Deion don't fit. Deion changes things. Deion didn't fit, man. Everywhere Deion went, if you follow his career, Deion don't fit nothing. Everything changes. Deion changes everything. Everything he walks into, Deion Sanders changes it. And Deion not walking onto no team that he can't change. He don't want to walk into the pros. And now I gotta, now I gotta manage the salary cap. Now I gotta talk to this GM about this player. I want this player, but I gotta talk to the GM about this player. I gotta talk to the owner about this coach. And I gotta talk if I want to have these stars on the sideline and who I want to be at the game. No, he's not doing that. Deion said, no, I come in and I change things. This is not about a fit in the Cowboys. Deion blows things up. That's what he does. He walks in and says, I'm prime time, baby. No. Jerry is saying something, and something that he said is so powerful. He said he has no peer as a recruiter. Watch this. That is not a prerequisite for being an NFL coach. Why did you say that, Jerry Jones? It's the truth. You don't get to recruit in the NFL. You don't recruit. You don't recruit players in the NFL. You don't. They even have tampering rules. They have all kinds of things. You don't get to recruit. There's a draft. There's not a trade portal. There's a draft. Deion can't just go in the draft and say, I want Travis, Shador, Shiloh, Ashton Jeanty. He can't go in and do that. He's got to go by the rounds. Does anybody not understand how powerful it is to be a college coach? You just got to convince the kid to come to your program and you got him. You don't even get to recruit in free agency. You can want Derrick Henry all you want to, but if somebody else is willing to pay Derrick Henry more money than you, what do? Jerry is saying something, people. The charisma of Deion Sanders. And I'm in agreement. The charisma of Deion Sanders will work better in college than it does in the pros. Because we don't operate like that. I mean, college is different than the pros. It is. It's just totally different. It's a different type of business. Even though they don't have a salary cap for the coaches, Jerry don't want to pay $30 million to bring in Deion Sanders because that's not guaranteeing a win. He doesn't want to give up draft capital to get Deion Sanders. He doesn't want to eat $180 million from Dak Prescott to get Deion Sanders. Now, Jerry is saying, now, I don't mind the popularity. Y'all talking about that we can't fit in the same room. No, Jerry's saying, no, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Y'all not hearing me. It don't make dollars to Jerry. He's not buying it. He don't need, and watch this. And Jerry don't need Deion Sanders for the Cowboys to be as big as they are. He don't. The Cowboys right now are more popular losing than winning. Jerry don't need Deion. Deion don't need Jerry. They don't need each other in that route. They don't need each other. Only place that they can meet in the middle is, can you come in here and win games? Now, let's think about Jimmy Johnson. Different time. You ready? No salary cap. No salary cap when Jimmy came. Get who you want. I mean, you still have to go through the draft. But if there are some players available and you want to pay them what you want to. It's your pocket. There's no free agency. I mean, I'm sorry, there's no salary cap. So not only that, do we not understand why Jimmy was successful? I promise all of us, without the Herschel Walker trade, Jimmy Johnson isn't Jimmy Johnson. It's the dumbest, most ridiculous trade in NFL history. It's ridiculous. I'm glad we won't know the end of it. I mean, I'm glad we won't know the end of it. And we were the one trading Herschel Walker. Everybody wanted him. Okay, you want him? You can have him. We'll build a dynasty behind all these people who want Herschel Walker. It's a different time now. Salary caps, trades, the draft, all this stuff is different. Jimmy, I got to wonder if even Jimmy is Jimmy in this era. Let's not forget Jimmy went down to Miami and didn't win. Jimmy went down to Miami, y'all, and didn't win. He didn't. He couldn't build that team, could he? He couldn't build that Miami Dolphin team, y'all. Tell me why he couldn't build that Miami Dolphin team. Why couldn't he do it? Because he didn't get the doggone trade of the century when he went down there and had players galore. And I would even dare say he didn't have wheeling and dealing Jerry Jones. Jimmy and Jerry were the perfect storm, and people need to understand it. Jimmy needed Jerry too. Jerry needed Jimmy more than Jimmy needed Jerry in a sense. But Jimmy needed Jerry too. Jerry was wheeling and dealing too, and people don't give him credit for it. Jerry is wheeling and dealing too, y'all. Jerry's spitting some facts, and I know people don't want to accept it because we all want what we want, but I think Jerry is saying something without saying it because he loves Deion Sanders, but he's saying it. Let me just make it Google Gaga for us. We're sadly mistaken if we think Deion Sanders is going to come to the NFL, to the Cowboys, and do what he did at Colorado. He's not going to do it. Now, I can tell you where he could possibly do it. If your team is like the Las Vegas Raiders, if your team is like the New York Giants, and you're already at the top of the draft, and you know beyond a shadow of the doubt the Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to get Shedeur Sanders, but I'm going to tell you, if it's me and I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars and I got the first pick in the draft, oh, you better call me a jerk. I'm about to be the jerk of the draft because I'm going to get Shedeur Sanders. And I'm going to make every team behind me who wants Shedeur Sanders, you want him? Come get him. You want him? Come get him. You're going to give me your draft for the next 3 seasons. I want your first. This season, next season, and the next season. And I want a couple of number 2s. And I want you to throw in a couple of Bentleys. I don't know. But I'm about to get everything I want from you because you want Shedeur Sanders that bad. You better believe it. I'm about to be the jerk of the draft. And I said it last night. If Trey Lance on potential went for 3 1s and a 3, what's Shedeur Sanders going on? And we know how good he is. Now, if there's a team already at the top and they're going to be able to get Shedeur without giving up any draft capital, and then they say, hey, Deion, come on in here. Las Vegas Raiders, anybody? But even them, I think for the Las Vegas Raiders, they got to keep trying to race to the top. They got to keep losing and hope the Jaguars win. They got to keep losing, hope that the Giants that the Giants mess around and win one. They got to keep losing because the perfect storm for the Las Vegas Raiders is to be at that top spot. And if the Raiders are at that number 1 spot, we might have a different conversation because Deion might just come to the pros because there won't be any draft capital to give up because they're already at the top of the draft. They're already going to have a whole bunch of draft equity. They'll be under the salary cap. They're going to have all of these things. I'm sure that the Davis man, he going to tell Deion, Tom Brady, 5% owner, very influential. Hey, give him what he wants. Give him the coaches he wants. Let's get him the players that he wants. We got the money. He could do that for the Las Vegas Raiders. He can't do that for the Cowboys. Our situation is different. We've already paid our quarterback. Primetime is one of a kind. Now, maybe in 2 years after his sons go to the pros and he's not playing with them and see how it goes, maybe he'll come to the NFL. And I'm going to tell you something, Andre. I don't think he's going to come then. You know why? Boy, I'm sorry. No, I'm not calling you boy. I'm just saying boy in general. But, Andre, Deion mess around, have success without Shedeur. He's going to be at one of those top programs. They're going to throw the farm at him. They're going to throw the farm at him in college football. Deion Sanders is about to be the king of college football if he wants to be. Pros are different. Pros are different. Because you won't be able to get maybe the best coordinators because some of the best coordinators may be the head coaches. You may not be able to get some of the best defensive coordinators because somebody might be willing to pay more than you or whatever the case may be. The pros are so different. It's just so different. Chris, what's going on? What's up, G? He says, I wonder if CeeDee Lamb's mother would talk. Boy, I was just thinking about that. I wonder if CeeDee Lamb's mother would talk to her own son about not checking out mentally when teams are getting on his head. I'm telling us. I'm telling us. And, now, we have a double standard. You know how it is when it comes to our children, Chris. I was actually thinking about how would his mom respond with a coach like Deion Sanders being the coach? Would she be talking noise about things going on in Dallas if he's there? Nisa says, if it comes to the pros, it should be the Jets. If he comes to the pros, it should be the Jets after Aaron leaves. You know why I don't think Deion will go there? Too cold. Deion like warm weather. He don't want to be in the cold. That's why he don't want Shador to go to New York. Andre said, why are they mad at Michael Parsons for saying we have a good team? And just 2 weeks ago, they were mad at him for saying we suck. So why are people mad at Michael Parsons can't throw the team under the bus? You know what? I did a video on that just the other day. And my issue with Michael Parsons is I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with him saying we have a good team. But it was his explanation, Andre, that was insane. Bill Parcells said it best. You are what your record says you are. And Jesus says something that people have to understand. A tree is known by the fruit that it bears. You cannot tell me you're a good team and you're 3-7. The Cincinnati Bengals. What are they now? 4-6? Joe Burrow is having a doggone MVP season. It's a travesty with the season that Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow are having that they're 4-6. But they are what their record says they are. They are. If you're good, it translates. It translates. It's all going to come out in the wash eventually. You may have a game where someone cheats. You may have a game when someone cheats or the referees miss a call. Okay, that's going to happen. Happened to the Bengals against the Ravens. That's going to happen 6 times. Bengals 4-6. It's happening 6 times. So you telling me 6 times you're that good, but 6 times you have put a game in the hands of the referees. No. You are what your record says you are. The Cowboys are 3-7. And the problem with Michael Parsons is he's got to learn just to shut up. I mean, when you're losing, just be quiet. Unless you're going to be direct. I bet you this. Michael Parsons, this is the problem with Michael Parsons trying to even be a leader. Saying that type of stuff. That's pacifying stuff. That's this generation stuff. You want to be a leader? You step in that locker room and you tell folk no excuse. We are what our record says we are. I don't care how good we think we are. We're 3-7. We're not a 7-3 football team that's 3-7. No, we're a 3-7 football team that's 3-7. That's what we are. And if we want to be 4-7, 5-7, 6-7, we have got to play better. Period. End of story. And Michael Parsons, he kills me because he's doing all this talking and he's not playing well. He's not. Michael Parsons hasn't played well the whole season. He hasn't. Even the Eagles game, he's trying to champion that game. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. You didn't do, okay, you got 2 sacks. I need you to do a little bit more than get sacks. If we could move you back to linebacker, maybe you would be producing like Demarion Overshown, 4 solo tackles, 7 assisted tackles, and 2 sacks. That's what we want. Micah Parsons does too much talking. He doesn't know the room. He doesn't understand the room. He's got to stop doing these types of things. Paul says Jerry would ruin Shador. I don't know. It all depends. I don't know. We'll never know. It would all depends on Shador. But I'm worried about Shador. I'm worried about Shador because Lewis Bailey, I think his name is, Lewis has already kind of hit on this. I watched Shador in college. I'm watching him in college. They're the only college team I really watch. Shador does hold the ball a long time. You won't get that in the pros. You will not get that in the pros. You hold that ball like he does right now, you're getting clobbered. And I don't think it's nothing to do with Jerry Jones. My concern about Shador Sanders, he's loaded from top to bottom. His depth at wide receiver is insane. The running backs, now they got that. The depth is insane. I mean, you look at the weapons around him. People do not understand. We're literally looking at a Colorado offense. They're going to have six. They're going to have, not including Shador, they're going to have at least on offense alone, 6 of those kids are going to be playing on Sunday. What's the chances of that happening in the pros? Now, they're all playing on Sundays in the pros. But what's the chance of you having wide receiver 1s at wide receiver 2 and 3 and 4? What's the chance? I'm worried about Shador. Because you don't get that in the pros. You don't get to have Travis Hunter, Horn Jr., these other guys who are on that squad all on the same team. It rarely happens. You may get lucky. You may get blessed to have the situation like they have in Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You may get lucky like that. You may get the Miami situation where they got a couple of studs. You may get the lucky with the Cincinnati Bengals. You got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. But even with that, the pie is different. The pie is different in the pros. There's a salary cap. You might get the Jamar Chases. You may get T. Higgins on the same team, but you don't get to get everybody else around them. That means that now maybe my offensive line sucks. Maybe I don't get to have the top running back. Maybe my defense sucks because I got to figure out a way to balance all this. So I'm always worried about any of these quarterbacks when they come out because that's why I say Patrick Mahomes, guys like him, they don't understand. They have got to be in one of the best situations. You are Patrick Mahomes, and you don't have to go to the worst team in the league. You get to go to a team that was just in the AFC Championship game. What? You get to go to a team that's already got players, already got the coach, great play calling, great defensive coordinator. You go on that team. Lamar Jackson gets to go on that team. He's crying over the last player in the first round of draft. You're crying? It's the best thing happened to you. Lamar Jackson could have been Mitchell Trubisky. It's not about Dallas messing him up. You can go to a team. You go to the worst team typically when you're the best quarterback. How they work out? How they work out for most of these quarterbacks? How's it work out? Dak Prescott got really, really blessed. He went in the 4th round. Dak went to a team that was literally built for Tony Romo. He was never supposed to play. They were basically saying Dak Prescott, all he'll ever be is a backup quarterback. That's what he was. Dak Prescott was supposed to be Cooper Rush. And then when Tony Romo was done, they were going to get another quarterback, and Dak was still going to be the backup. Dak went on a team that already had players. Got his opportunity, and he shined. And so for Shador Sanders, I'm concerned because everything I'm looking at, Shedeur will not be. I just hope we don't expect to see the Shedeur in the pros in his first couple of seasons that we're seeing at Colorado right now. Because I'm telling you, whatever these teams he go to in the top, I don't know if they're going to be any good. Daniel says, do we even know that Deion is staying in Colorado? These rumors of him coming to Dallas has got to stop. He's already said it. He's staying in Colorado. He's been saying it. No, Deion has given no one any indication that he's coming to the Cowboys. And I still keep saying, why would he want to? And we don't realize something. Jerry Jones is actually already solidified this. Jerry Jones already has his quarterback. So the only way that Deion's going to agree, so if Deion comes here, then we're going to see something different from Deion Sanders, because Deion is basically going to be saying, I'm willing to coach an NFL team without Deion Sanders, without Travis Hunter. I believe Shiloh's going to be here. I believe that Jerry's going to go get Shiloh Sanders. I will not be surprised if Jerry trades some of those plethora of picks that he has, 10 going into the draft next year, and he puts something together where he can get back into the 4th round, and he's probably going to get Shedeur Sanders. That's the one who I think is going to play here. I do. Andre says, okay, if he would have said we were sorry, they would have did him like Dak Prescott. I don't think they're going to do anybody like Dak Prescott. But I think, Andre, why Micah Parsons is getting so much flack is that I think everyone is saying they really want him to shut that podcast down. I think that's what everyone is saying. Because he just talks too much. And Dak said, we suck. And I'm going to let you hear something about Dak here in a little bit later on. Dak said, we suck. But see, and think about this, Andre. The reality is Dak's telling the truth. Micah Parsons isn't telling the truth. The team is, I would say, better than their record, maybe. But I can't say they're better than their record because that's what their record are. I mean, that's what their record is. Why? Because even for Micah Parsons for doing all his talking, he's just not producing. And I'm just very interested in what his contract negotiation looks like this year because I'm sorry, you made CD wait, you made Dak wait. What you gonna do with Micah Parsons? Because his production ain't nowhere near what theirs was the previous year. It's gonna be interesting with Micah Parsons. Daniel said, I'm sick of with the losing from this Cowboys team. And after having a discussion with the diehard Cowboys community, they had predicted the Cowboys win of 21-17 against the Oh, no way. Who are these people? No way. No way, no how. We're not beating the Commanders. There's no way. There's no way. We're not beating that team. Not this game. Not the one in Washington. We're not beating them. We're going to beat the one. We're going to beat the Giants. That'll be our first home win. The Giants going to give us the game. All we got to do is play. They're going to give us the game. But nah, man, Commanders, nah, I'm telling you right now, Dan Quinn got blood in his eyes. Andre says if Micah Parsons would have said we suck like Dak, then they would have said he quit on the team. Well, that's the problem. I'm saying, Andre, everybody got with him. I think what everybody's saying is they want Micah Parsons to shut up. I'm in agreement. I just think he needs to shut up. Take Mike McCarthy's advice. Stop saying things that other men have to answer for. And when you say we're a good team, you just wish the record and the scoreboard showed it. Micah Parsons just revealed the entire mentality of this team because Trayvon Diggs is sitting there talking about, yeah, me too. What? What is wrong with this generation? Man, we're terrible. We're terrible. No, we're not. We're 3-7, but no, we're not. If we were better than 3-7, we'd be better than 3-7. We're not losing games on last-minute field goals. I mean, we're not losing games on last-minute penalties. No call on a holding call. No, we're getting trounced in the third quarter. And Micah Parsons, shame on you. Y'all are atrocious in the third quarter. Not only are we not scoring, but we're getting scored on. Michael got to stop talking so much. That's why he's getting the criticism. I just think people are telling him they want him to be quiet. Michael Parsons, you said he hadn't played much this season. He's played enough. It's no excuse. Well, okay, big time show. Let's go back to last year. What did he do last year down the stretch? Nothing. Michael Parsons, everyone talks about it. He fades down the end of the season. You hear nothing from him. What has he done in the playoffs? Somebody tell me. Tell me what his playoff, tell me what his signature playoff game is. Michael does way too much talking. And I think the reason why he talks so much is that people ran around here talking about, they're comparing him to Lawrence Taylor. That's blasphemy. Michael Parsons can't be in the same sentence as Lawrence Taylor. Anybody who watched that man play, he can't be in the same sentence. There was no stopping LT. There was no disappearing from LT. Every game LT in, whether he drunk or on drugs or partied all night before, LT coming to perform. Michael do too much talking, and that's what people are saying. Michael Parsons' shenanigans off the field is affecting his play on the field. He's not spending enough time in the film room. He's not. We can do more with less. That's what Jerry says. I'm telling us, man, this is the problem. This is the problem. Michael, to me, that video, I watched it. Michael is the epitome of what's wrong with this team. You're telling me. You're looking at what you're putting on the field. You're watching more tape than me. And we're a good team. Listen to this oxymoron. I just wish the scoreboard reflected it. What? How crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. I've watched every Dallas Cowboy game. No, Michael Parsons, you're getting outplayed. And as a matter of fact, the best game they've actually played this season was with you not playing. The Pittsburgh game was a masterpiece for the Cowboys. I don't understand. They have not been able to replicate it. Chris says, I know Michael would not listen to me, G, but I did mess him on Twitter. You asked him to go back to linebacker. You know what? He alluded to it the game before last. He said, Demarion Overshown has me wanting to go back to linebacker. Well, go back. What's stopping you? Oh, I want Demarion Overshown to be better than me. You don't have to ask that. He's already better than you. And he may not be better than you based on ability. He's better than you because he's in the correct position. If I'm out of position, y'all, I'm not going to be good. I'm not going to be good. There's a reason why y'all cornerbacks don't play wide receivers. There's a reason. Because they play cornerback better than receiver. Running backs are not wide receivers because they're better running backs than wide receivers. You got to get in where you fit in. What is your position? And then you do it well. And I think Mike Zimmer is frustrated. I think Mike Zimmer is thinking in his own mind, man, if we could just get this kid back at linebacker, I could make him into a star. I mean, why won't Michael play in the middle? Why shouldn't he be the middle linebacker? I mean, if you the man, if I'm a linebacker, I want to be the middle. I want to be the middle linebacker. That's what I want to be. And if I'm really that man, that's what I am. I'm the middle linebacker because as the middle linebacker, I'm the quarterback of the defense. That's what I am. That's what I am. And so I don't understand why he doesn't want to do that. But I know why he doesn't want to do it. Because the bag comes to the defensive ends. That's what the bag goes to. But to me, this is not about winning, about getting the bag. This should be about getting the chip. and put me in the best position to where I can succeed. Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Ray Lewis the middle linebacker? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought Ray Lewis was the middle. I mean, if you're really the man, you typically will play the you're typically going to play the middle. What's the Cowboys linebacker that we had that couldn't stay healthy? Y'all remind me of the linebacker the Cowboys had that couldn't stay healthy, because I'm thinking, if I remember, he was the middle linebacker too. LaDonna Decker says Michael doesn't want to play linebacker, and that's sad because that's where he's best. He would be killing it. In this defense, I promise you, this team wouldn't be 3-7. He has to get more serious. He's not serious enough to be the leader of the defense. And that's the problem with Michael. He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the leader, but he's not doing the things. And the things, he's hurting the team by saying we're better than 3-7. No, don't say stuff like that. Matter of fact, it would be better not to just say nothing. And then you in the locker room and you tell the guys, hey man, we're not better than 3-7. We're not. Can we be better than 3-7? You better believe we can. But right now we're 3-7, and that's what we are. We're nothing more. We're nothing less. We're nothing more. They got Micah Parsons out of position. It's it. He's out of position. And he doesn't want to play. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to tell you something. You know what happens if you play linebacker? Study. You got to study. You play linebacker, you got to know where everybody is. Lawrence Taylor impressed me so much. Lawrence Taylor, with all his partying, all his off-the-field shenanigans, on the field, he said he knew what everybody was doing. He knew what every single person on the defense was doing. He watched film. He understood tendencies, and that's why he was so effective on Sundays. They said that he could be asleep in the meetings and wake right up and tell you what everybody doing. Everybody. LT was different. That's why I say when you start comparing players, sometimes we don't realize if these guys listen to this stuff, if they don't have the right mind, y'all, it messes them up. It'll mess them up. They'll think they're more than what they are. It'll mess them up. And so the problem with Michael Parsons, Michael's been doing a little bit too much. I think he does a little bit too much of of being on those podcasts and all those different things. And so I want to transition. There's a story that came through 105.3 The Fan, and I'm surprised no one is talking about it. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video about it after I get off of this. But I find this video to be fascinating. I only listened to the first couple of minutes of it. I want us to listen to the first couple of minutes of it, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. But I thought this was one of the craziest. I mean, it wasn't what they were saying that Dak said or what Dak did. It's their analysis, in a sense, of what they're saying about what Dak said. Daniel says, I want to see more heart on this team. It's hard to see more heart on the team when you're telling them that we're doing everything right. It's just not translating to the scoreboard. I mean, that's crazy talk when we start talking like that. Lewis Bailey, Michael needs to get more tackles. Yep. That would mean that we stop in the run. You hit it right on the head, Lewis Bailey. I show his box score every week, and the one thing that's missing is tackles. The media ruined Micah, in my opinion, like you said, G, when they started comparing him to LT. Yep. Listen to them press clippings. Michael Parsons talked today. I'm not sure. I think he might have did a press conference. We might be able to go look at it a little bit. Probably getting ready to get off here because Thursday Night Football. I know some of y'all gonna probably watch that. I'll probably watch a little bit of it too, and then I'm gonna come back after. That and do a post game show on that. Oh yeah. By the way, what's going on, Big Time Show? My cousin turned me on to you, man. He said he's a big fan of yours. I checked out some of your work too, man. Keep up the good work. Yeah, Cowboy fans were like, Dak took Romo's job. Dak was behind Kellen Moore at that time. I mean, what happened was Dak came out in the preseason and killed it. Dak did so good in the preseason. I mean, even Skip Bayless at that time was going, who's this Dak Prescott kid? The MVP of the Senior Bowl. That's who it is. I mean, Dak came out and balled out. Yep, 70s fan. He was good in training camp. They had to give him a shot. And when they gave it to him, he won. Mike being sarcastic. Oh, he said he apologized. Okay, I gotta listen. Now, Mike said he's a now. Wait a minute, Andre. Are you telling me the truth, man? Are you telling me? Okay, we'll come back. We're gonna come back in our post game show, and I'm gonna listen to the Michael Parsons interview today and see if he said, "Man, you better be playing with me." What's going on, Angie? Man, you better be playing with me. That he was not being sarcastic on that podcast. I watched it, bro. I watched it. That dude was being very sincere. Daniel said this team's not playing hard enough. They haven't. And Daniel, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tack on to something that you're saying. They have lost faith within each other, and it's showing on the field. You look at guys like Overshown, Bell, and Thomas on defense, and they're playing hard. Bell won't be playing hard no more. He got hurt again. But I believe this is what Michael Parsons is trying to cover up. I think Michael Parsons, and I could be totally wrong, but I think he's trying to supplement the fact that he knows this team has had its heart taken. And I don't think this team got its heart taken because of the season. I think this team got its heart taken when they saw what Jerry Jones did in the offseason. I think that took this team's heart. When they saw that Jerry put the coaches on a 1-year lame duck deal, they noticed that we did absolutely nothing free agency, nothing in trades. They're looking at how the drafts are turning out. They're looking at CD sitting out of camp. They're watching their quarterback not be on a deal. All of this contributed to the heart of this team. And I'm telling you, I believe Jerry's going to do something different. I do. I think Jerry is going to do something in free agency. I think he's going to do something in the trading game. And I think he's going to try to make a huge splash in the draft to get what some of the fan base wants. And it's not just for the fan base. Jerry has to do this for the team. Jerry has to do this for this team to get some faith back in this team. Michael plays linebacker. Chauncey Golson's going to have to play that position. I think that what they're going to have to do is I think the Cowboys need to get an edge rusher and convince Michael Parsons to go back to linebacker and tell him we'll make you the highest paid linebacker, but we won't make you the highest paid defensive end. That'll be crazy. Yeah, Niecy, they hated seeing LT coming, man. I mean, I'll never forget what that man did to his name slips me right now. But the quarterback for the Washington Redskins, Lawrence Taylor literally hit this man and broke his leg, snapped it in half. Snapped his leg in half. I mean, people do not understand the force that LT was hitting with. They don't. What was that guy's name? Man, my memory. Joe Theismann. Broke Joe Theismann's leg. I mean, this dude was crazy with it, man. He was crazy with it. Keith Rivera said podcast bosses. I think what everybody is wanting him to do is be quiet because he continues to write checks for the team. When you say the team is better than 3-7, that puts all of us on. I mean, you're putting all of us on. Hey, George, what do you think about what Michael Parsons said about the team being better than 3-7? What? Man, please. Or, oh, yeah, he's right. No, man, stop it, man. Everybody took what Dak said when he said we suck. They took it as Dak giving up on the team. Exactly. And maybe that may play a part in why Michael Parsons didn't say it. He didn't want the backlash. But I think Dak needs to get even more vocal and start saying what it is. What up, Wicked? Deion only coaching the Falcons. The Falcons will draft one of his sons. I don't think they're going to be able to. They already got Michael Penix Jr. I think where Shador is going is Las Vegas. And if he's coming to the pros, it's going to be Las Vegas. Because the Cowboys, they're going to get shot. I'm going to be shocked if the Cowboys don't get Shiloh. I think Shiloh going to be a Dallas Cowboy. I think he'll be the only Sanders kid that'll be a Dallas Cowboys. Remember my guy when I told you that Deion Sanders will focus on the college atmosphere, not focus? Yep. I'm with you, Amtrak. And I said the same thing. I just didn't believe he was going to leave college. He loves what he's doing. Please get rid of that coach. The coach must get fired. So if we get blowed out by Washington, does he get? Oh, no. Jerry's going to let Mike McCarthy continue to orchestrate the tank. Lawrence Taylor could single-handedly wreck an offense. You better believe he could. Mike is realizing he won't get that DN pay. And you know why he won't get it? Because he's not being productive. And I'm sorry. I'm just not paying him like that. I'm not even paying him in the top 5 DNs. I'm to the point where the players are playing soft, and I really don't like what I'm seeing in the product. The Cowboys are supposed to be a hard-nosed team. Well, Jerry created this finesse team. He's going to have to figure out a way to fix it. LT did not do what he talking. No, man. He didn't do what he talking. Darrell called the crazy part is Mike could be better than Fred Warner. Woo! Yep. Sean Lee, Darrell. Yes. Michael could be that type of player if he'll go back to linebacker. He could. He was drafted as linebacker who let him be DN. He messed around. They lined him up on the end. He messed around and got a couple of sacks. And they said, hey, man, he's a great rusher of the passer, and they put him back there. Yep, the real Darrell, he wants that pass rusher money, but he going to have to get them pass rusher sacks. I also think Mike has seen how Jones do business. He wants the DN money instead of that linebacker, but no doubt that's his problem. Michael was forced to play DN. Tank was the team's best pass rusher for years. Yeah, Sean Lee, man. And boy, if I'm telling y'all, Sean Lee could have stayed healthy, first ballot Hall of Famer. Charles Haley was the same way. Yep. He would get the offensive playbook and set it in with the offense. Yes, sir. Them players were different, man. Yeah, real Darrell LT, a different dude. He was. Dude could be on that stove. Boy, you 100% correct. Man, Rick James said cocaine, a hell of a drug. Well, Lawrence Taylor said, I'll show you what I can do with it. Man, that dude was terrorizing folks, man. Steelers and Raiders are the same as the Cowboys when it comes to out-of-market popularity. Yes, the Steelers travel well. They do. The Raiders, they travel well too. I'm telling y'all, I think if Deion comes to the pros, I think that's where he's going. The 70s fan said, I always thought Kellen Moore was jealous of Dak. He might have been. Showers did well too, but they let him go. Yeah, Cowboys have let go of quite a few players. They don't develop well. Cleveland going to win. Man, I'm telling you something. I just can't believe it goes to show you that they don't need a quarterback because they're playing themselves out of the top 5 of the draft. So I think the Cleveland Browns are going to be trying to get a running back. The Jones don't understand morals or morale. Nope. You think CD don't like Dak G? Well, I said it yesterday, Chris. I think Dez Bryant is on to something. I think that CD Lamb and Dak Prescott are not meshing. And one of the reasons why is that they're in 2 different stages of their career. Dak, family man, had a kid, getting married, building a home, stabilizing himself. Just got his probably last big bag. CD just got his first bag. I guess he got a girlfriend. Still in the clubs, though. You know, I think Angie said it best. He's a supermodel. So he living that supermodel life. And him and Dak just at 2 different spots right now. And Dak is going to have to get a little bit more vocal on CD Lamb. And as an older man, say, hey, bro, you're going to settle down, get in the film room. No, don't just come and throw ball. Let's not just throw passes. We're going to have to sit down and start studying some film together. Dak's going to have to start taking on that older man, as Dak said, that old head role. He got to take that role and take it serious when he comes back. He said, I hope you're right about the Cowboys making moves next season because this product I'm seeing on the field is not good enough. Oh, I got full confidence they're going to do it. Yeah, it was Joe Theismann. I got full confidence. I'm going to read the last few comments here, and then I'm going to let you hear. Oh, let's see. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to read you guys last few comments, comment on those, and then when we come back after the pregame show, after the game, we'll talk a little bit about the game. And then we'll get on this business about what 105.3 The Fan said about Dak Prescott. I think it's very interesting. I think we'll all be interested in hearing it. And so I'll read these last few and then we'll get out of here. No, Dak Prescott deal with the nail in the coffin, especially when the team saw him come out and be just garbage signing the contract. Nah, that's not true. Jerry knew what he was doing. Jerry didn't sign players. Jerry knows exactly what he's doing, as much as we don't like it. Dak didn't play like garbage. Dak is showing the value of this team. This team was still competitive with Dak. I believe if Dak don't get hurt, they beat the Falcons. They would have I think they would have beat the Eagles. Cooper Rush just wasn't good enough to do it. They could have easily outdueled the Eagles. And I think they even would have beat the Houston Texans with Dak Prescott. Nah, I'm not buying on the Dak Prescott. We're not having that discussion tonight. Also, I want to add about 2025 offseason 2. If we can cut Dak's cap hit down, don't you worry. They're going to flip a switch on Dak's contract. They're going to flip that switch on Dak's contract. We're going to have $100 million in cap space. They're going to flip it on Dak's contract. They're going to flip it on CeeDee Lamb's contract. They're going to have $100 million in cap space. And watch what I tell you, the Cowboys are going to get busy. I'm asking the same thing, 70s fan. Is he going to be the same without Deion? Is he going to be the same? Because I can tell you this. The quarterback that Deion has, he may be the same without Shador. He may actually be the same. This kid's supposed to be really good. I want to go back and watch some film on him, see what's going on with him. Yep, linebacker money is too shabby. Yep, Michael want the bag. He want the bag. You know what? Bill Belichick is the coach. A lot of people are still talking about that. And Nisi's kind of mentioned it. I think when we talk about fit, I'm not sure Bill necessarily fits, but I think he fits what Jerry wants. Jerry don't want a young coach. I don't think he does. I think Jerry likes older coaches. So if we're talking about the older coach, I think that he's going to be exactly that. And he would tell our guys to go on the practice field. And I think Bill has a way of being stern to where Bill is not going to be disrespectful. He's not going to be disrespectful. So Bill could probably be, if they could figure out a way to get Bill and make him some promises that you're going to let him play in free agency and, in the trades, I think Bill would come. LT was high when he played any given Sunday. LT was probably high on any given Sunday when he played. But LT was a beast, boy. Which linebacker that Dallas had did you like the most? You know what? Oh, man, there's so many, especially when you're talking about some of those 70s Cowboys team. Man. In recent memory, Sean Lee was an absolute monster. I just wish he could have stayed healthy. Sean Lee was first ballot Hall of Famer, man. First ballot Hall of Famer. And some of those 70s team had some very good linebackers. Mitch CD's a freaky diva. Hey, man. Jerry Jones was in take mode. Yep. And I think the team knew it, 70s. And what I show you about what Dak Prescott said after the Texans game, this is going to let you know this statement you just made. I said it too. I think Dak talked to Jerry. Jerry told Dak exactly what he was going to do. And Dak understands it. That's why he's not tripping. But I'm going to show you something that Dak said, and I think it proves the very thing that we're talking about. I don't think Dak likes CD. I just think it's the immaturity for Dak that he can't deal with. Sorry, y'all listening, doing my hair, but I had to chime in. What's going on, Purple? We coming back after the game. I'm about to get off here. I know some of y'all want to watch the game. I know I want to watch it and see what's going on. Dak like those Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson, Randall Cobb receivers, even Gallup. Yeah, I think they should have ran that back, but Jerry got in his feelings. Hit that like and subscribe, y'all. Appreciate you, Wicked. Y'all hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Old school coaches with skins on the wall. Yep. Try to say he was injury prone. Yep, I've been hearing that too. We need a coach who could motivate a team. I definitely think Bill can do that. I definitely think Deion can do it. It has to be the perfect storm. But you know what? Let me read these last two comments, then I'm going to say this. Hopefully on Sunday I get to see some players with heart on Sunday. Bland again. Man, I just don't know if I want to see Bland playing with what he's been dealing with. Full participant in practice on Thursday, kneeling along with Cooks, all expected to play on Sunday. Don't understand what they're doing at this point unless they're saying that we don't want to be in the top 5, or maybe they're saying they can't be in the top 5. Do you drive skill position, offensive line, defense? I'm going skill position. I'm tired of these offensive and defensive lines in the draft. Purple Soul, what you... Yup. But I'm going to tell y'all what I would have liked to have seen. If Deion in a whole different world, if Deion wanted to come to the NFL, and Deion was willing to coach a team without Shedeur Sanders, I would love to see what Deion Sanders could do with Dak Prescott. Dak's different. Dak want to be coached. Dak's a Cowboy fan. He remembers Deion Sanders. Dak Prescott, I promise y'all, would give Deion Sanders the ultimate respect. And I believe that Deion would finally unleash what we all know and we've seen in Dak Prescott. I believe Dak does have that dog in him. Jerry has deflated this team with some of his antics. I would have loved to have seen it. But Deion's going to be in Colorado, and we'll see who they get for the Cowboys. But I'm confident that this team is going to do something next year. And I think that people are going to be pleasantly surprised at what Jerry Jones does in the offseason. But either way, y'all, I'm riding with the Dallas Cowboys. I hear a lot of people talking, oh, it's so hard to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. Not me. I've been here doing the 0-16s. I've been here doing the 1-15s. I'm here doing the 3-7, the 3, whatever we're going to be even after next week. I'm going to be here reporting on the Dallas Cowboys, supporting the Dallas Cowboys, because I just can't see myself rooting for another team. I can't. I'm riding. I'll see y'all after the game. Y'all come back if you can. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.